I'm Bruce Kiesling, Music Director of the Adrian Symphony Orchestra. I'm really excited to tell you about our opening piece, which is the first time this orchestra has ever played a piece by Ruth Crawford Seeger. And if that Seeger sounds familiar, you're right, this is actually Pete Seeger's stepmother. And they are a family of musicians, so they would play all this traditional music, and right in that era when bluegrass and other traditional sounds were taken more seriously by supposed learned composers. And in this, it's a quick 4-minute opener of definitely a bluegrass tune that she arranged for orchestra, and so it'll be a really exciting and bam opening to this wonderful program in March. We're continuing our Stravinsky Festival, and in March we go to one of the maybe deep cuts. This is definitely a B-side, so not necessarily The Rite of Spring or Firebird. Those are the A-sides, the big hits. But here we're playing the Suite from Pulcinella. This is one of his lesser-known ballets, but no less good. These are based on some old songs that were found in a monastery, and for years they thought they were by this Italian composer Pergolesi. Turned out only a few of them were by Pergolesi. That's musicologists for you. But nonetheless, incredibly charming. We're doing 8 of these very, very short dance tunes, delightful and kind of arranged in a modern bent. So if you imagine maybe like Sofia Coppola, her take on Marie Antoinette, this is sort of Stravinsky's modern take on these old dance tunes. So they have a little bit of an edge to them, a little bit of excitement, a little bit of a seasoning on these old tunes. Definitely something that you want to come and experience. Everybody knows Mozart. He's one of those names like Beethoven, that's just the most famous names in classical music. And he was certainly incredibly famous throughout Europe as a kid, but he really had trouble transitioning to a successful artistic adult until his last 6 symphonies or so, which is when Vienna started taking him seriously. And his last 3 are considered absolute classics, and tragically, he never heard them played because he died before they were premiered. But the very last symphony, his Symphony Number 41, considered one of the greatest achievements in the form. We call it the Jupiter Symphony. That's a nickname that it has picked up just because it's so grand in scale, like the biggest planet in our solar system. And it's because this is a giant, giant work. You know, we think of Mozart maybe as reserved and kind of safe and very tasteful. There's some of that in here too, but the last movement of this has 5 different themes, all of which combine in this incredibly complex fugue. And that's all like music jargon that may mean nothing to you, but most importantly, emotionally, when you listen to the piece, you hear these 5 little snippets, and then they start overlapping in this intricate and exciting way for an overwhelming emotional experience played by the wonderful musicians of the ASO. Definitely something you do not want to miss.